start with the obvious. Big 12 champions. How's it feel?
Well, it was really special, I'll tell you. Our kids were so dialed in. I mean, I couldn't believe how focused all the guys were, and just how much they started feeding off of each other. And it was just so fun for me to see them have a great meet like we did.
First one for you guys since 2019. I guess, is there anything similar maybe about this year's men's squad that you noticed resonates with that 2019 team?
There is some similarity. I think there's a lot of makeup. It's a veteran group, a few people that even if they're transfers, they've been there in the war, in big meets, and I think that really makes a big difference when the young people can feed off of that. And so I think that's going to be a big difference as we go into the outdoor.
I know you guys came in feeling comfortable with that meet, obviously, especially being home too, but you guys ended up winning that pretty resoundingly. Is that something that you maybe not necessarily expected, but knew that you guys were capable of to win kind of outright the way you did?
Well, I felt confident all along to the guys that we could win. On paper, we were to get beat, I think, about 4 points, but I knew we had a little bit of an opportunity with Terrence hiding him out, and if he was right at all, I knew that he's going to do really well. And then I thought that would make the other group feed into it, and that did. But when you do two events, the 60 and the 60 hurdles, and then another hour, you got the triple jump finished. I believe that was 81 points. When you can do that in a meet, you're gonna make it hard on anybody to beat you.
I see the number of people that you have in Albuquerque.
We have 9 guys, and we have 4 girls and 5 events. So we have 9 guys.
And I just saw one of the swim, Bubba swim.
He did.
When I looked on Sunday, he was outside of 16. I thought it was like 17.
I think you might have been right, but if I'm not mistaken, it's the Oregon kid, Micah, that got pulled out at the last minute, and that's probably what moved him up.
Yeah.
So I tell you, that's the one good thing. I don't care if you're 16th. We had Cole Weldon at Arkansas, and he was 16th ranked and got 2nd. So it's so hard to make this meet. It is the hardest meet by far because they only take 16 people. Everyone's just so close to each other, and I'm just so glad that they're in the meet because anything can happen.
With how hard it is to make a meet like this, and I guess also going back to Albuquerque, what do you think it means for the athletes that you are sending there that they'll be there? I guess maybe common thread of character do they have altogether?
We went over there early just for this reason because we knew we wanted them to get a feel for that track, especially like Courtney in the 200 to run a bank. It really, I think, and Rosemary, both of them have got to run now on the 200. And that's really the only event that, I mean, I worry about all of them, but I worry about what lane they're going to get. And you don't earn a lane until you run the first round. So we just never know what lane we're going to get, and that's so critical in a 200.
And Zach Walter there too, right?
Yes, Zach did. We took the vaulters, and we took, I believe, the high jumpers, long and triple, and then we took some sprinters and hurdlers.
Like coming back to Texas Tech and being able to have Oregon obviously cap it off at the Big 12 championship last year?
Yeah, I'd say overall it's just a blessing. It took a lot of hardships to get here. I didn't know when I was going to run, if I was going to finish healthy. But I would say by the grace of God, I pushed through it. It's good to be back.
To see this team on the men's side of things and be able to accomplish what they had so far, what's been, I guess, the general characteristic maybe that everyone's kind of
I'd say just to have fun. You know, we all had that mindset just to have fun because as a team, we know what we're capable of. So as long as we have the mindset that we're good to win and that fun mindset, we're gonna do good regardless.
And then Albuquerque now kind of on the docket for you guys, having this rest week, getting ready for that. Is it nice having the rest week, but also kind of having that in the back of your mind that you have a really, really big meet coming up?
Yeah, I think the rest week it plays like a big part in how you do at nationals because it gets you, I'll say both physically and mentally ready for the meet because after Big 12s, we're all on a high. So I think like this week, you really give us a chance to like reset and get back into the championship.
Coach Kittley kind of just talked about too, just how big, getting, maybe not for the you, but getting lanes and just doing well, not just in the finals, obviously, but the prelims and everything. How on focus do you have to be in big meets like preparation, the actual race itself, recovery, everything?
I'll say everything has to be on like everything has to is a certain order, and we all have to do it like a certain order in order to perform at our best. Because if we don't, then it'll be complications, and we don't really want that.
Terrence, what do you think of people? You're defending yourself on Twitter the other night after the video of your run the other day.
I was just me having a little fun. Because last year was a rough year for social media when I went on it. So I feel like I owed it to myself to at least do that on social media to trying to kind of like get my name back out there.
What do you think you're capable of running in the 60?
Honestly, I don't know. I think my coach knows better than me, but I don't know. My goal is not really like placing like times on myself, and more often less finishing healthy. Because I dealt with a lot of injuries when I first came here, so finishing healthy is like my goal for every meet.
Obviously, you won the triple jump championship for the Big 12 this past weekend, but your teammate also was on the podium with you. What did it mean to you to not only win that event, but to have both of you guys up there at 1 and 2?
That was really cool, and I was kind of happy also for my teammate because she did a great job. And I was also a little bit frustrated about what I did. I just admit, but it's fun because we both did finally, so yeah, I'm really happy with this.
It was a successful weekend, obviously, for the entire team, really. Now we're getting ready for Albuquerque. Coach talked about it a little bit, but I guess how much of an advantage was it for you guys to go out there? Or were you one of the people that ended up going to Albuquerque? Or?
Sorry, say again.
Were you one of the people that went to Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much of an advantage was it to be able to go out there and now go again?
Yeah, it's pretty good to go over there because you kind of know what you have to figure out over there because the track is a little bit bouncy, so it's good to figure out how you have to manage technique and practice back here. So it's pretty cool to go over there.
The distance that you jumped in the triple jump last weekend, was that a PR or?
It wasn't a PR.
It was not?
It wasn't not.
What was your PR?
13:89.
13:89. Can you tell us about your background? When did you get to Texas Tech?
Last year. Yeah, last year in January. And yeah, so it was a little bit different. When I came here, I was a little bit lost because everything was different for me. So I think now I'm feeling better now. So it's easy for me to.
I think you're listed as a junior. Have you been at another school previously?
Yes, back home. Yes, back home. I just did 2 years in biology. So
this is your first school going to the United States?
yes.